Hogstye.
Hello, and welcome to the Hogseye. It is the show that has been going on for over a decade. We go into our 10th season that we're covering here. And I say that because this is the week that preseason starts. The Hall of Fame game is Thursday night. If you're listening to the show when it came out Thursday, you should be watching that tonight for about 3 minutes and then get bored because the Hall of Fame game is always the worst preseason game you'll ever watch.
It's terrible.
But-
I would just like to point out for the math efficient that this is probably season 11. Didn't we start this in the off season of 2015?
Oh, you're right. It is season 11.
For the math efficient, which is apparently Alex.
Yes. Season 11. That means we've gone on longer than Seinfeld and Friends and do you know how rare TV shows make it to 11 seasons?
We're up to Frasier at this point. It was Frasier
easily.
went 11 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm actually entering my third regular season.
Yeah.
We can't either, man. We didn't think you'd make it more than a week or two.
I'm even surprised you guys bared me for more than 5 minutes.
For the amount of money we've paid you, we expect better performance.
Well, I mean, hey, you gave me a raise and everything. You're right. I mean, there's expectations there.
So the Hall of Fame game, just so you guys know, because I bet half of the people listening don't even know who's playing, because why would you?
I really don't, to be honest.
Dave, do you know?
Yes, it is the Lions and Chargers.
Dave gets
Saturday, right?
No, Thursday. Tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's on Peacock. So unless you have Peacock or you're within, I think, a 25-mile radius of where the NBC will air it.
Yeah,
you're out of luck anyway.
As a proud Xfinity cable subscriber, I get Peacock for free.
There you go.
Or at
Steve
least
can watch.
Not a specific charge I have to pay.
Right. Steve can watch the Hall of Fame game, and then he can go watch Jaws, because I think Jaws is all on Peacock right now too.
Oh, is it?
And actually, you know what? Don't watch the Hall of Fame game. Just watch Jaws. It's a better time.
It might be more fun.
Actually, just go watch Shark Week.
Yeah, I think that's why Jaws.
I'm gonna go watch the Sydney Sweeney commercials on endless repeat. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, because that's not creepy. That's not creepy at all. Do that.
No,
the whole
not even a little
controversy
bit.
is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, the
just
whole
for
fake
record.
controversy nonsense.
I'm kidding, by the way. But it's not a controversy. It's not eugenics.
It's not. I don't even think it's a real thing. Dave and I were talking about it while you were taking care of the dog. It could be that this was all fake, arranged by American Eagle as part of their advertising campaign.
Stranger things have happened, and our fourth cast member is right here beside me, looking out the window as we speak. He's now has a cone on his head. For those of you who remember, he had an operation that boy dogs had to have. No. Now it's a cone.
Well, yeah, nobody had a donut though. 1 point.
Yeah,
but now he has a cone because being an extremely active dog. The scar got a bit irritated, so now he has to have a cone and he's stuck in it until next Tuesday.
Ugh.
If I can I don't know if I can take that far, but we'll see.
Yeah. Has he gotten stuck in anything? When you put cones on animals, sometimes that happens.
No, but it's also a soft cone. It's not a hard cone.
Okay.
And to be honest, it's like the purpose of the cone is so he doesn't lick himself. And as long as I'm sitting with him, he's not going to lick himself.
Right.
So he's not worn it 24 hours a day. Now he's in it now because I can't stop him on talking to the world here.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, let's. We can move on from that topic if you figured out what that topic is, and let's talk about what's going on at training camp, because it is training camp season. I don't think we covered this much, Dave. Did we talk about that new locker room that the team built for themselves?
No, we have not mentioned that.
Yeah, that new locker room that they have at that facility, that's really nice. It doesn't even look like lockers. It looks like they put a bunch of lazy boys all together and super glued them all next to each other, and they're calling it a locker room. That's what it looks like.
If you go look at photos of the locker room in the 80s or the 70s
or last year or the year
last
before.
year, true. Yeah, it's such a dramatic. I saw one of you guys, I think, texted the photo. I saw the photo somewhere.
They have a bunch of cool underlighting going on. They have a big the logo 50 feet wide on the ceiling now. It's ridiculous.
These guys are getting soft, man.
Some of the newer movie theaters, especially the restaurant, eat-in theaters, they have those style seats right there. I mean, they've had those type of seats.
Yeah,
they've had those type of seats for years, but they gotten really nice in the newer ones. It's very similar to that.
Yeah, my local theater has upgraded to these really fancy seats that are, recliners and soft and all of that.
They have the little speaker systems built into the sides.
Well, I don't go. I think in one of the theaters they have those. I don't go to that theater normally, but I haven't been in there yet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm typically not going to see like the superhero movie of the year of the of the day that's going to be in there. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Fantastic Four was fantastic. No pun
I haven't
intended.
seen that one yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Great movie.
Fantastic by superhero movie standards, which is very low.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you have to understand how much they've missed on the Fantastic Four in terms of not getting it exactly right. Instead of Galactus being a freaking like a
smoke monster,
smoke monster in space. Even though that is comic book accurate, I hear. I haven't seen that, but still, now that we've diverted away from everything about sports,
Is he the
great
bad
movie?
guy
Go see it. Fantastic.
Yes, Galactus is a villain in Marvel. He's a giant space monster who eats planets.
And now is Marvel Superman or
no?
Who is Marvel?
That's DC.
Marvel's the other one.
DC.
So that's like Iron Man.
Yes.
And a bunch of like Ant-Man and a bunch of ridiculous ones.
It's the one that Disney owns and has ruined. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Disney's ruined a lot of things. You need to be more specific when you say Disney's ruined.
I was actually thinking about this. What if they ruined more, Marvel or Star Wars? I think it's still Star Wars, but it's close.
No, they completely shattered and destroyed Star Wars.
Yeah.
By far. I mean, Marvel can't touch what they did.
Right.
I haven't seen any of Marvel, so I can't speak to that. But they've totally demolished. They've totally ruined Star Wars.
Yeah. They made The Mandalorian. That was good. It was entertaining, but
I refuse to watch it.
Yeah, that's the only decent thing they've done. I don't blame you for.
Actually, the first season of Andor was good. I haven't watched the second season yet. First season of Andor was pretty good. That wasn't terrible.
Subscribe to Disney Plus because I refuse to give them money. So
you don't get that one for free on your.
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, I get mine for free because my daughter has it.
Yes.
So
I steal it from somebody.
I have someone who may or may not be living in this house that has offered to give me his or her subscription, and but I refuse.
Yes. His or her. You say that like we don't all know.
I didn't want to say the person's name out loud in case.
No, you don't need to say their name out loud. I don't think you've ever said their names out loud.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yes, of course. And the fact that you haven't even come up with fake stage names for them, like they're not Art and Daryl, Speaking of, to get us back to the,
they're Dexter and Charles. How about
Dexter? That's actually good. I like that one.
I like it.
Speaking of, though, Art Monk, we didn't talk about the fact that they're retiring his jersey yet, did we?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, we did? Did we talk about Syracuse is also retiring his jersey, his college?
That I didn't know.
Yeah, they announced that this week. So Monk is getting both jerseys retired this year, which is, that's special. It is. And
look, I think Art Monk is one of the classier people that has come into the Redskins universe.
I think he's one of the classier people who ever played a game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, none of us can speak to like these 70s and prior guys. I don't know. But in terms of the people that we've been around and been, watching from afar and everything, I don't think there's a classier individual than Art. I mean, maybe Doug Williams is up there too.
Yeah.
But Art Monk is one of a kind, and he deserves every honor.
Right. And since you mentioned him, I'll just hop to that little story that we found out today too, that Doug Williams is getting a honor. He's getting I'm getting right here, the President's Lifetime Achievement Award, which is an award that they give out to people who have the highest honor for volunteer service in America. So it's like an official award from the president to Doug Williams, and he'll be getting that. I don't know. Now, I don't know if that, like the Medal of Freedom's a medal, kind of like the Medal of Honor, right? I don't know if this is a ribbon or a sash or what you get for this one.
Well, don't compare the Medal of Freedom to the Medal of Honor, first of all.
Well, I'm just saying they're both.
It's a political thing. The Medal of Honor
they're
is
both
for
medals.
heroism.
They put, like, it's
I've got a
medal.
question. Not that I'm opposed. I mean, I'm glad, Doug Williams getting a medal or whatever. But has he done a lot of volunteer service? Does anybody know? I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just not aware of it.
I know in terms of for the HBCU, he's done a lot for them.
Yeah.
Since his time at Grambling, when he left and all through there was a lot of things he was very instrumental on with HBCU colleges. I do know that.
Okay.
Exactly
well,
what he's done, I'm not sure, but
maybe that's it.
I'm sure that's part of it. Yeah, he deserves it. The team put out a little thing where all the players surprised him and, were applauding at the facility when it got announced. So, good for them. Doug Williams, by the way, still somehow there, like, despite all the changes. Doug Williams is just always hanging out at the facility.
He's never left. Is he still employed in the front
he's still
office
employed at some,
I think it's more or less when he's ready to go, he'll go. They'll never escort him out that door. Yeah. Especially since we lost the Redskins name, he pulls in that nostalgia. Could you imagine if they turn around and just, it's just.
Well, what are they going to do? Throw him out? I mean, the fans would revolt. He's really him, and I think you're definitely. I mean, I think Art Monk and Doug Williams are probably the two most beloved players on a personal level. Even Darrell Green isn't beloved in the same way.
Darrell's respected.
Darrell's, but he's I'm not saying he's not. I love Darrell. Right. I've got a Darrell Green. One of the very few jerseys I have is Darrell Green. But like in terms of like who they are as people and whatnot, and just kind of the classy, quiet, attitudes they have, it's Monk first and then Williams.
You might be right. And that's not to knock any of these other guys who are.
No, I'm not trying to insult them. No, not at all.
But I've never really thought about it. You might be right that they are that character type. Those were role models.
I mean, if I were to add anybody else to that, I would probably even think maybe even Charles Mann, with the way that he was. I mean, he was beloved in the city. He was a great locker room presence.
Yeah.
He did so much to keep Dexter Manley on the straight and narrow as much as he could.
Good point.
Because he was a bit of a loose cannon.
Tall order.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So.
And I put Michael Westbrook up there too. I mean, he deserves it, right?
Well, is he doing bum fights still? Is that what he's up to? I don't really know.
I think he had about 2 or 3 UFC fights, and I don't know what he's doing now.
I don't. Well, he had one that no one knew was coming, and when he beat up Stephen Davis.
Well, that wasn't really sanctioned by the UFC, but
shockingly, it was, Steve. It was that's how the UFC worked back then. Anytime you sucker punch somebody, it was a legal UFC bout.
Kobe agrees. If you heard him,
I did slightly hear something there.
He was barking at the people walking by.
All right, so that was one training camp many, many years ago. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's come out of the current training camp.
Let's do.
So I have a couple stories I've seen. You guys can chime in with some of the stuff you've seen that's interesting. The big takeaway I've seen is the defense is really playing great, especially the secondary. People are really getting excited about Amos. And it seems like, now it's early, but it seems like they've nailed 2 cornerback picks in consecutive drafts. That's huge if the team can kind of have 2 good, solid cornerbacks now.
Let me just chime in real quick on Trey Amos. I finally found his contract info. Everybody recalls, he was holding out.
Right.
Sort of.
He wanted guaranteed money.
A fully guaranteed contract. Kobe's
outraged. Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. Kobe is outraged. The idea of second-round picks getting a fully guaranteed contract for whatever it would be, $2 million a year.
2 dogs running by now. So that's...
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, so once you're cool.
Okay. He's went to the other. Now he's barking out the back window. So point is, he didn't get a fully guaranteed contract. He got a $7.28 million deal, of which was guaranteed $4.57 million, which is a little over 2/3. Yeah,
over 2/3. That's good
about
though, man.
7.3 over 4.5. So so it's a lot, but it's not one that's gonna. It's not going to set a precedent. That's bad.
Right.
Well, so the precedent was already set by some of the other people in this draft class who were pushing for that. And it seems like there was a real trickle-down effect when one guy got it, and everyone's like, oh, why don't we get it? And that's what happens.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Do you remember who the guy was that got the fully guaranteed contract?
Oh, man. It was,
was it
one was on the Bengals? I forget his name, though.
The Bengals doing that makes no sense.
Or was it the Bengals? No, I'm sorry. You know what? I can't even remember.
It was the Bengals. Sorry, my dog's nemesis is walking by now.
Oh, is it the German Shepherd?
It is.
Fucking German Shepherds, man.
And the German Shepherd is a real jerk, I gotta say. And they know it's a jerk. The woman who owns it told me my dog isn't a very good dog. I was like, yeah, you're right. He's not.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, we know. No,
yeah.
but the one of them was the Bengals. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
But the point is, Washington has not joined that stupidity, and that's what I wanted to pass on is that he did not get a fully guaranteed contract.
Right. But he is playing great. They're saying it sounds like he's going to be a lock as one of the starting corners on the outside now, which is fantastic. But the whole secondary, it sounds like, has been playing really well. Now, is that they're playing well, or is that Terry McLaurin still in this hold-in / fake injury situation?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
It's too early to really know. I mean, somebody thinks it's good, but it's too early to know. I mean, I hope Trey Amos and Marshon Lattimore would be great.
Yeah, and then you have Mikey Sanders still there, and that's a great trio.
Well, see, the one thing I've been hearing that's been pretty impressive with Amos at this point is that he's actually been communicating with the Harris is our new safety right back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget his first name. Will Harris, right?
Yeah, Will Harris.
But he was at, like throughout camp, Amos and him would communicate back and forth based upon what they recognize and everything, and they've been communicating very, very well, which is rare for a rookie to do in their first year like that. So
a lot of this is keyed on whether Marshon Lattimore can actually show up and play in a manner that is expected based on his status and contract.
Well, as of right now, throughout camp, he's had his burst back. He's been anticipating very well, and he's been all over the field. He hasn't been beaten egregiously at any point, and he has come walking around with that little moxie that he had when he was in the Saints, from what I'm hearing. So everything looking good for him so far. How's he
played in the games that Washington has played so far?
What's that?
Last year,
he
did not
play
well.
Washington?
Yeah.
No, in the games for 2025 season, how has he played?
Well, he had one pass breakup, so.
In practice.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in season last year. Yeah, one pass breakup.
I'm being facetious. What I'm saying is
I know
I don't trust him until I see it in a game. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think we all understand that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just tracking on a point that at least he's looking healthy. He's looking like he's being instinctual as he was in the past, which is all good
it's better than the opposite.
He's able to run and dig. That kid's really grown. If you get that line, good for you.
I actually don't get that line.
Well, I'm not shocked you don't get it. I think Dave probably knows.
What was that from? Yeah, are you gonna hold us in suspense or what?
It's from Something About Mary.
It's from what?
Something About Mary. Classic movie. Ben Stiller.
Oh,
comedy.
Ben Stiller. Brett Favre was in there.
Favre. Yes.
Favre.
Yeah. They kept on mispronouncing his name. It's very funny.
I think Brett Favre pronounces Brett Favre's name wrong because it's clearly spelled Favre, which should be Favre.
Right.
Or Favre or something, and not Favre. The R is not before the V. I think the Favre family pronounces Favre wrong.
They're from Mississippi, Steve. They can barely speak. Like,
Brett Favre's lucky he's not in jail, okay?
Yes, we all know that. For multiple times now.
Yeah, I know. I have never seen that movie.
You should see that movie. It's a good comedy. Classic.
Yes, it is.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. All right. So, Dave, you said you saw one thing that was positive too, which was Josh Conley Jr.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually been running a lot more with the ones at this point of doing camp than most people thought he would.
Right.
He's been showing that one cut quick burst. He's been running with good low pad level, all that. So everything is looking good. So basically, right now, you're seeing Merritt being the camp darling right now. I mean, because obviously,
so a couple things about Merritt. So, one thing you said was, I think, very encouraging. Low pad, running low. He didn't always run low in college. and he was when I watched this film. If you guys recall, I did a film study on
you
it.
did.
And he is a one cut back for sure. But what he did and what he was able to do is take advantage of a lot of really horrible defenses.
Right.
And to his credit, he took advantage of them. My fear for him was that he was going to be too upright, and then he wasn't necessarily going to be able to take advantage of NFL defenses in the same manner. It was kind of, if you put, Eddie Van Halen in a room with me and my buddy, that's a terrible analogy. But, put a professional guitar player in the room with us, the professional's going to look a lot better than it is. I mean, that was kind of what I thought. But what you're saying is it sounds like he's adjusting very well to the NFL, which is a positive sign, right? So far, there's been no games. There's been no defenses. We'll have to see. But it sounds like, because my fear was that he wasn't going to necessarily be able to adjust, because we've seen this happen time and time again. But it sounds like it's going pretty well so far.
We'll see. The one thing when it comes to that though is that he's in the camp environment. He's having the coaches yell at him and get down and constantly coaching him through everything. It's just when you start seeing what he does in game time situations, most players go back to what they're naturally used to doing. So, I mean, he can run with a low pad level now and do everything he's doing now, but now he's in a game time situation. He's going to go back to basically like muscle memory, maybe. Will he do that?
We'll see.
Because if you remember when Carson Wentz came out, being up in Philly, I heard so much about it, his mechanics, his footwork, where they were off, and he'd be real choppy with his steps and everything. All offseason looked really good. The preseason looked really good, but as soon as he got into the first couple weeks of the season, bam, right back to his poor mechanics again.
Well, that might be exactly what's happening. I mean, maybe the coaches are working with him, and you got to get low.
Yeah.
And like you said, because it's a low stress environment, we'll see. We'll just have to see how he does in games. I'm encouraged that maybe, I mean, stranger things have happened in Washington than 7th round pick running backs to start.
Yeah.
Alfred Morris was 6th round pick, if I believe, but I mean, there's been other guys come out of nowhere to start.
Oh yeah, plus plenty of times. Yeah.
And plus, this running back room is so wide open right now.
I know. You're right.
So,
I mean, Brian Robinson is nothing special.
Right.
He's not terrible, but he's nothing special.
Right.
So the one fun tidbit about him, by the way, if you hadn't heard this, he prefers to go by a nickname of Bill, which is interesting.
Who? Brian Robinson or Ja'Cory Merritt?
No, Ja'Cory
Merritt. Merritt. He goes by Bill?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't heard that explained out yet.
Merritt?
It's apparently based off of some kids show from whatever that generation would be. I don't know are they Zoomers, these guys? I don't know what they are.
I don't pay attention to generational labels because I think it's stupid.
Right, but they're way younger than whatever generation I am.
It's what it's doing is it's grouping people together by a common characteristic that has no basis in similar behavioral characteristics.
Right. I agree. Generally, generations
brought to you by the same people who believe in things like astrology.
Yes. Anyway, but that's his nickname. It's Bill, which I don't understand it. I don't think it's from King of the Hill. I think it's from some like Bluey.
It's just kind of funny that his name is Ja'Cory.
Right.
And he's got a strange last name, Krosky Merritt, and the guy goes by Bill.
Right. He wants to go by Bill.
Fine by me. Fine.
Well, gone are the days to where your nickname was given to you based on the whatever dumb, stupid event you did.
Right.
And that was a nickname you got growing up.
His name's just Bill.
Or some kind of weird ethnic joke made about you.
I thought you were going to say he loves dollar bills or something.
No,
it's just he likes the name Bill.
Thank goodness it's not that. If it was that, it would be a red flag.
Because it would be dollar bills with a Z too.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrible nicknames are as much of a red flag as the guys who are like, I also want to be a rap star.
Well, the guys who give themselves nicknames.
Never trust that. Never trust that. Yeah.
That's just like a golden rule. You just don't do that.
I mean, one of my favorite basketball players, Kobe Bryant, did that, which was a character flaw. Of course, there's no small rest in peace, Kobe, but he wasn't lacking in ego. You know.
He wasn't lacking in a few character flaws. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But he was also so good at what he did. If you want to give yourself a nickname, go for it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the one bad thing I've heard from camp is Josh Conley Jr., who I stumbled over a bit ago when I confused him with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. But Conley Jr. is coming along a little slower than I think some people had hoped, is what I'm hearing. Like, they have him starting at right tackle all the time, but he's getting beat quite a bit, it sounds like, by Von Miller and some of the other defensive ends in camp right now.
I mean, he's got time. It's too early to panic.
It's too early to panic. And as one person pointed out, we do have some depth. So if he's not a starter week 1, it's not like, the end of the world even then. You'll be disappointed.
They don't have a lot of depth.
But,
we can make a lateral move to Wiley if he's not any good.
Right. Which is also no good.
Yes. Hence the lateral move.
That's what I mean. I mean, they don't really it's not really depth if you have to just transition to someone who's equally bad.
Right, but you do that in hopes that the rookie will develop over the period of time, a month or two.
Some of these draft picks not every draft pick's going to work out.
No.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do to him what they did to Coleman last year. They'll probably, they'll make a decision of, we're going to start Wiley out there. And then we're going to give a certain amount of percentage of snaps each week until it gets about mid-season. Then we'll start bringing him in more and more and more. And bam. I thought what they did to Coleman was a great idea when they did that last year. Because you saw when he played extended period.
Way to develop a lineman, I thought.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of pressure off them if they're not starting that first series or two. And they kind of can go in the game when there's a flow established, and you kind of it was a smart thing to do. You're right.
I would just like to point out that the total moron in our comment section who we booted out.
I was going to say which one.
Well, the one that we repeatedly
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
You dude, because I know you're listening. You were wrong about Brandon Coleman. You insisted in the comments that he was going to be a left tackle. And then my comment about you can't just count on a 3rd round pick to come in and start immediately was stupid. Well, guess what, dude? You were totally wrong.
Right.
I know it's hard for you to admit, but you were totally wrong.
Now, do I think he'll still be a good, capable lineman? Yeah,
sure,
probably.
Possibly. Yeah, but that was never our point.
Right. All right. Let us talk about some of the roster moves they've made. Sadly, they have not signed Terry McLaurin still. We'll get into that in a little bit, but they did have one player retire, Nate Herbig. Thank you, Nate Herbig.
It's Herbig, not Herbing.
It's not. There's not an N.
I don't believe there's an N.
Oh, okay. I wrote it down with an N. That's on me writing it down wrong. All right. So he was a guard. He came in this off season, and now he's retired. I think. All the humidity here did him in.
Now, unless I'm mistaken, he had $640,000 in dead money. So you're welcome.
Yeah. That's a nice little retirement fund right there, honestly.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's not kind of.
Hey, you know what? If someone offered you $600,000 now and said you're retiring, most people will take that.
No, I don't think you understand the concept is it counts against Washington's salary cap. Dead
money.
Okay.
Oh, dead money. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It wasn't bonus money. Never mind. That's less fun. All right. They did also sign an offensive tackle, Lucas Niang from Kansas City, formerly from Kansas City, I guess. So lose one lineman, replace him with another. This is all depth stuff that they're doing right now.
Right.
We have absolutely no idea who Lucas Niang is.
Yeah. No clue who Nate was there either. So, I
at least knew him as a name on my salary cap chart.
Right. He was a line. He was one
line on my chart.
Right. Now Lucas will be a line. So.
And Herbig's still a line on my salary cap chart. Now he's in the dead money column.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Steve works on that chart more than anyone ever wants to know.
It's one of the nerdier things I've done for this site. There's no doubt about it.
And you love it. You love doing
I've done a lot of nerdy things for this site.
All right. So the Terry McLaurin stuff, obviously there's not a deal, but there was a big signing or re-signing made this week that has a lot of impact on folks and where they see Terry's salary possibly being. And that was Sutton got a 4-year, $92 million contract. This is a big deal because unlike a lot of the contracts that Terry McLaurin's been comparing himself to, like DK Metcalf, Sutton and Terry McLaurin are, I believe, 1 month apart in age. They're close in age. Sutton had a very similar year last year to Terry McLaurin, although his career hasn't been as good. So significantly less. By my math, about $10 million less per year from what DK Metcalf and some of these top guys have gotten for Sutton.
Well, I mean, I didn't put Courtland Sutton in my Terry McLaurin comparison column for a reason.
Sure.
I think McLaurin is a better player. He's got a better record.
Right. He's a solid number 1 receiver. Sutton's like a high 2.
I hate those labels, but yes, generally speaking, I would agree with you. But more importantly, I mean, Courtland Sutton has fewer catches, fewer yards, fewer touchdowns. He's got lower catch percentage. He's been to 1 Pro Bowl, not 2.
Right.
And so Terry McLaurin objectively has accomplished more, and they're the same age. Now, 4 years, $92 million comes out to $23 million a year in average annual value. And as I showed, Terry McLaurin is not going to take that.
No,
it's just not.
He
shouldn't. The simple fact is, Washington's got to get to $30 million a year, or Terry McLaurin ain't signing. As simple as that, I think. That I can guarantee you that the problem here is length of contract, guaranteed money.
Right.
That's the problem.
Sure.
Because Washington knows, if I figured it out, they know too. They know his average annual value net worth is worth about $30 million. It's guaranteed money. It's as he's getting older, length of contract. That's what the problem is.
Right.
Now, I mean, is there not a scenario where they can still kind of meet near to the total guarantee money he might be looking for, but you front load most of all that, where next couple of years where he's going to most likely be productive? Your biggest concern is when he gets into the age 33, 34, and 35, where he wants that contract to get past them. Why not have it structured to where, okay, well, we'll front load a lot of your guaranteed money, and that back end will be more, we can lay that out with more incentives. We can guarantee a full year depending upon your production and what you have done.
Well, sure.
That's making sense.
You're saying what the team would want.
Mm-hmm.
What players want is guaranteed money as the contract goes on to make it harder to cut, to make them harder to cut. Yeah, they want to get paid up front, but they also want to have, more guarantees coming on as the guy.
Right.
Look at Patrick Mahomes' contract was crazy. Patrick Mahomes had a 10-year contract. He had money becoming guaranteed along the way, like every 2 years, all the way through like year 8. And what it basically does is prevent the Chiefs from cutting him without planning ahead 2 years in advance. And not that the Chiefs are going to cut him, don't get me wrong, but like that is a contract that protects a player, and that is what players want. And so what I would assume the difference here, Terry McLaurin probably wants a 4-year contract.
With guaranteed money all 4 years.
Guaranteed, and some guaranteed money. He's not going to get guaranteed money all 4 years, but he might have more money becoming guaranteed as the year goes on. And Washington probably wants to do a 3-year contract.
Yeah. It's very standard for a lot of players to get these contracts where those first 2 years they'll have like $50 million guaranteed, and then very little guaranteed in those other years, right? Like the way they always finagle these, there's always out years now after about 2 or 3 seasons. NFL contracts are weird, so much weirder than, your contracts that you'll end up getting in the NBA or baseball. Those contracts are generally much more straightforward. The NFL, they're always trying to maneuver things, and it does make sense just because of the injuries, right? That's what it's all about. You know, you don't want to be in a Drew Brees situation where you've guaranteed a guy, $50 million and he's hurt and he will never play again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there has to be, and I don't know if this is if the agent steering McLaurin away from this or whatever, but I mean, he has to realize there has to be some give and take in this. I mean, he can't just. I get you want to demand a certain number of years, guarantee money through all those years, but you also have to understand is, I mean, even one of the best receivers in NFL history, Julio Jones, when he hit 31, I think it was 31 years old, he hit a wall. I mean, he went from like 1,200 receiving yard down to like 800, and then 600. So if that happened to Julio Jones, I mean, teams also had to prepare for that. I mean, there has to be give and take on that. And
no, there is a hard NFL reality to receivers hitting that wall, like you said. And in a guy like Terry's case, it's so tricky to say what skill set of his will go that'll make him go from being a 1,000-yard guy to a 500-yard guy.
Well, burst.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's generally
speed,
that, right?
Athleticism.
Right.
His hands won't go.
Right.
But
he's
his
a
ability
speed
to
guy.
Cut.
Yeah.
And he runs very precise routes.
Precise route running doesn't go either, though. Really,
but his ability to be as agile.
Sure, and his ability to run a good route and get open on said route goes away. But you can still be that guy who's maybe you're not breaking open as much, but you're running those good routes, which helps other guys get open and things like you can use that guy. It's just he's not worth $30 million when he hits that wall.
I had to step up. Go ahead.
Yeah. How long did Hines Ward play? He played till he was about age 33, 34, pretty productive years.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had a long career. Yeah.
And he was a physical receiver. McLaurin's not quite as a physical receiver, but where I draw the kind of similarity between those two is they were both very good route runners. They understood the game at a very high intellect level, and they were very serviceable. Even when they lost a bit of their burst, a bit of their speed, they were able to overcome that with how they ran their routes. They knew what the defense coverages were going to be, and they knew how to sit in the zone. I mean, that's things that McLaurin can do.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to bank on the fact that, well, when he loses his speed, can he do that? Well, we don't want to give guaranteed money on, well, he might be able to do that.
That's the thing. And Hines Ward was 35, it looks like.
He had a drop off that last year, but yeah.
And you can't count on a guy, being able to still play, because you just said it, Dave. It's like, Washington has to count on it.
Right? Yes.
If they're going to pay him a huge contract, and they just don't want to. And I don't respect this hold in garbage. If he's lying about an injury, they need to suspend him, or I don't know what the right discipline action would be, but I would not put up with fake injuries.
Yeah, I mean, and it obviously is a fake injury at this point. Like, I don't even think the team's not even trying to hide that he's faking it.
Well, then they need to discipline him.
I wouldn't be surprised if the team itself is just saying, just come back. We'll just say you have a tweaked ankle or something, just so you're in the building. We keep all the noise down to a minimum that way. I wouldn't be surprised if the team itself is kind of part of that angle a little bit.
You might be right. I mean, I disagree with handling it in that way, but they might do that. I mean,
it's a way to get him. Oh, I want to be on the field with my guys. Like, it could be some of that to it.
And I had to step away for a moment because the dog had to go pee. But I don't know.
Pee / chase Germans.
No, he had to pee. He really did have to pee. But did you guys agree or disagree with me on Courtland Sutton when I was out?
I don't think we agreed or disagreed on the Sutton situation. Okay. Yeah,
as we were talking about the comparison, right?
Yeah.
He absolutely isn't. I mean, you can't compare him to Courtland Sutton, especially injury history. He's never been injured like Courtland Sutton was.
Right.
He's definitely been.
You're right.
He's definitely been far closer to what DK Metcalf was for Seattle and DK Metcalf did it with quality, with good, well, actually very good to quality quarterback play with not much of a drop off, and after that,
Yeah.
but you have Terry McLaurin. I mean, look at how many quarterbacks he's gone through, and he still put up numbers very similar to what Metcalf did. He was very consistent every year.
But here's the thing: Terry McLaurin could be franchised.
He could.
You could franchise him twice and get him up to what 31,
Mm-hmm.
And there's your
just let
3-year
him go.
deal.
Yeah, or just let him go after that. Who really has the leverage here?
Yeah.
Is he going to keep holding out, with a fake injury through the season? Is he really?
No.
I mean,
no,
again, you franchise him twice, they're going to pay him 30 something, low 30s, for a franchise deal, and then they have him 2 years, and then he's going to start going downhill. So, if he doesn't play ball, I mean, if Washington wanted to play hardball, that's what I would do.
By the way, his agent was even at training camp with him.
That's
at
not
least
that
2
uncommon,
days.
though.
Yeah.
That's not that uncommon.
You have to assume the agent then wandered into Adam Peters' office at some point.
Of course.
Yeah. Just not to talk deals, to talk I don't know, something else.
How you doing? How's your car running?
How was your vacation?
Seen any good movies lately?
Yeah, pay me.
I saw Fantastic Four. I loved it. What about you, Adam?
Yeah. Adam Peters is like, I'm too good looking to go to the movies. They don't allow people with this good of a jawline into a movie theater. It's illegal.
Is that a rule that I'm not aware of?
Well,
I've never been subject to that,
None of us have a good jawline, so not Adam Peters level anyway. All right, so yeah, that's everything that's kind of gone on with the Terry McLaurin stuff. The big story we got to get to before the show's over, though, stadium news updates. The day after I said during last show, it's going to be crazy this whole week when it comes to stadium stuff. The day after we did the show, Phil Mendelssohn officially leaked that some of the terms that he had changed that the team agreed to. This included adding a 18% tax on parking to get revenue from the parking. It included adding sales tax and merchandise taxes onto stuff in the stadium so they can get some revenue there. He got the team to agree to move their business offices into DC to the new site. I assume they're not going to be the stadium themselves. It might be, but I'd assume it's going to be
I don't know if they're going to
adjacent.
have room for it. Usually, teams that do that, the facility is sort of right next to the stadium, but there's not a lot of acreage out there.
Right. So it'll probably be in one of the office buildings they're building close by.
Which is I'm sure the team hates that. And the players probably hate it too.
Well, no, it's just the office. It's their sales staff and things like that. Oh,
it's just a sales staff. Oh, that's pretty normal. I mean, the sales staff usually is at the stadium.
I don't think it's even like the front office types, like the GMs and stuff. I think it's literally just the, stadium folks who are going to be there. So they're moving that in. So all in all, and this is Mendelssohn's numbers. So, take these with a grain of salt. His estimate is this will raise a high of $779 million in additional revenue from the original deal. The low end I saw on one report was more like $674 million. Now that doesn't balance out what they're spending, but it at least makes it a lot more palatable, I think.
I mean, it's some revenue to pay back bonds. So there was the Washington team president, a guy named Mark Klaus.
Right. This was the guy who used to work for Nabisco and created all the multi-flavored Oreos.
Did a letter to every member of the DC City Council.
Right.
And I can summarize, and so in it is a bunch of concessions by the team. And we can summarize this by saying most of it were various community-related concessions.
Mm-hmm.
They put money into this program, that money, and some other money
educational
into this program.
academies.
Yeah, job training. The one I disagreed with here is there's they're using very woke PC terms in here, but criminals released from jail, they've got to employ some of them.
Yeah, second chance program.
Yeah, I think that's horrible and terrible. They're agreeing on LEED standards. LEED standards is a real estate thing. It's environmental standards.
Right. There's a lot of stuff about making sure you don't damage the watershed in the parks
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
and there any overages in cost, the team's going to cover. The one, I think Alex, you sent this out to us, did you not? In a tweet?
Yeah.
And the person who tweeted it seemed to think that was a big deal. Listen, it's not a big deal. They were always going to do that. Team was always going to cover it. There was never a scenario in which someone else but the team was going to cover overages and costs. Most of it is community set. There's some stuff about equity investments in here, but most of the concessions are community related. They're going to do a bunch of things to the community, and all that's basically, except the criminal thing is a bad idea, but the rest of it's pretty good stuff. So that's my take.
That's your take. I have no problem with giving people a second chance, as long as we're not talking serial killers.
The city being mandated to hire 15% of your workforce must be criminals. I'm very much against that.
Well, I didn't see that it was a mandate that the city had to hire them. Okay.
No. It's the team has to hire them.
Oh, so
the team where it's contractors have got to hire. Here, I'll find it. You want me to find it?
Okay. No. Well, you're looking for that. So this was time.
I got it. So if you really want to know, it says the club will work with development partners in the district to provide justice-involved individuals. Justice-involved individual is woke PC for criminals, with meaningful job readiness and employment training programs, including the DC Jail and Readiness Center, for the construction of the projects on the development site, for ongoing operations of the stadium, and to commit to hire. The club will commit to hire, I'm going to use the real term, criminals for 15% of available construction permanent jobs, subject to availability qualified candidates. And so what it boils down to is the team's going to have to hire 15% of people released from jail or have to be in the construction crews.
Now, I got news for you. Most construction crews are more than 15% ex-cons.
Well, some are, yes.
Well, at least around here they are. I know that.
There's not a mandatory requirement of it. Dave? You're going to ask a question.
But now, I mean, does it give a? I'm going to word it real bad, but you fix that. Are they going to, or is it going to like have a what level of or what? I can't even phrase it right.
The level of crime involved, and it doesn't say.
Yeah, as in like you're not going to get your hardened criminal or your felon or anything like that.
No, but I will say that usually the criminals who are involved in programs like this, you're not going to get like the violent aggravated rape charge.
Right. It's usually
stuff like this.
More often than not, it's 17-year-olds who were dealing drugs and got caught and stuff along those lines.
You probably aren't going to get, murderers and, now you get some crimes that I vehemently disagree with that should be in there. And Alex and I have
different views
very different political views. So we're not going to agree on this.
Especially when it comes to rehabilitation.
Yes.
Well, see, what's crazy is that you really don't have to mandate something like that, because you're going to be getting these kids coming out of jail or whatever. They're going to be trying to reestablish their lives going forward. And a lot of these contracted companies are going to be like, well, you're not going to find a better job than this. Come on in here. We'll pay you a lower rate. We'll get you the very low. I mean, that's how it is around here.
Why I think it's much ado about nothing, because most construction that I've talked to, that's not uncommon.
The point is the government is mandating it.
That part I disagree with. The government shouldn't mandate anything for anybody, especially against a private entity.
Correct.
That I do agree with.
Yeah.
But I just think that there was no need for the mandate, because like what Alex says, and I agree, because it happens up here, when you get these kids are coming out of, like, I mean, even like your juvies out here are underage. I mean, they find community service work through these construction companies, doing something small around these parks to help them just to get themselves back out in there.
Well, there's not a lot of businesses that are going to hire people with felony, criminal records.
Right.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't.
I remember a story from a friend many, many years ago about he was running a construction crew that built highways. And literally every weekend, his first job was he had to go to the local jail to get people out of jail. Like, that was part of his job as the head of the crew, was to get his guys out. Anyway, so that there was the big thing that was going on yesterday and today is the public hearing. So in DC, any project like this, you are required to have a public hearing. Some people are
That's
mad
almost
about
every major city in the country,
right.
by the way. It's not unique to DC.
It's not.
Continue.
Some people were very mad. Why are we even having a public hearing? It's called a democratic republic. This is what you do when you have a major decision: is you have hearings so that the public can say, "I like this" or "I don't."
Look, every city
right
has got some sort of public comment
policy.
Right. It's operated in different ways. There's different rules.
Different
but every major city will.
Yeah,
right. Every major city will allow the public to come in and testify about various. Sometimes it's limited, just things on the agenda. Sometimes it's not.
Right.
And for when you're talking about a city, it's going to spend $1 billion in bond revenue.
Right.
You have an obligation to let the public talk.
Right.
I mean, even our smaller townships around here. I mean, they have they're town halls, but they're basically they're doing the same thing.
It's a democratic republic. You have to let people speak. It's not so by fiat.
So it happens at all levels. I don't see what the issue is.
I think people just are mad because they don't want any delays. And there were 500 people who signed up to give public comments at this thing.
500 people.
500 people. The city had to close off the city block around City Hall for the lines and masses of people who were waiting to comment.
If I was a DC resident, I'd be right there testifying against the expenditures.
Well, I did not watch all 500, but I did on Twitter watch many of the things that got reposted. Mostly pro, I will say. And it's not shocking if you looked at polling. A majority of the city wants the stadium, so it's not shocking that most of the people speaking are pro-stadium. There is an organized anti-stadium group, a bunch of weird
Those are
hippies.
The fiscal conservative types, probably.
No, it's the hippie chicks with dreads.
Oh, really? I'd join them, I guess. I guess I'd have no choice.
It's the people who look like the anti-Dave, basically. Young 20-year-old girls, white girls with dreadlocks.
Are there any fiscal hawks in DC? Probably not.
As residents, no.
They all
live in like rural Virginia.
Yeah, I'd be the only one.
They're afraid, much like you. They're afraid to come into the big city.
I'm not afraid to. I don't want to. There's a huge difference.
Anyway, so there were 500 people. I thought it was fascinating that they had to close off the street just to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because DC City Hall is not a small city hall.
Where is DC City Hall located in the city?
So if you remember where Freedom Plaza is off of Penn Avenue, kind of close to the White House.
Okay.
It's that. It's right there. Okay. It's by the Reagan Building. You might know better.
Yeah. Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. I know you haven't been here for a while, but
not in a while, yeah.
Yeah, the Reagan Building was around when you were around, at least. So yeah, that's where City Hall is. That's a big block that they closed off. That part of Penn Avenue. Yeah. So 500 people. I know the mayor spoke. I know the head of the Commanders, their team president that you just mentioned, Klaus. He spoke. It's Klaus, right? Although it's not spelled Klaus. I believe his name is Klaus.
You're gonna make me look it up again.
Yeah, Mark Klaus, I believe.
Okay, it's spelled Clouse, so close.
Yeah,
or close. We're not sure. We're sorry, Mark, if we pronounced your name wrong.
Yes. I like him though. I like his Oreos that he made and whatever else he did there.
He made Oreos.
Well, he worked for Nabisco, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, was it Nabisco? It doesn't matter.
It might have been Campbell's Soup. I don't remember.
I think it was Campbell's Soup, actually.
Oh, was it?
Maybe,
okay.
Yeah.
So he hung out with Andy Warhol or something. I don't know. Yeah. So all in all, the council's going to do their first vote this Friday. I assume it's going to pass the council pretty easily.
Oh, it was Campbell's Soup. I had looked him up. It was Campbell's Soup.
Oh, okay. It was Campbell's Soup.
That was right. Yeah.
So he didn't make Oreos. I'm taking all my good positive Oreo stuff back.
No, he made chicken noodle soup.
Oh, chicken noodle soup. Is he the one who hired Donovan McNabb to be in the Campbell Soup label? Remember when Donovan McNabb was the Campbell Soup?
Who knows? Could have.
Okay. Yeah. Instead of getting Jason Campbell. He went with
Jason
McNabb.
Campbell's a pretty boring dude, though.
Right, but it would be funnier if he were the spokesman for Campbell Soup.
It would, but he's not exactly a vibrant personality.
No, I know. But anyway, votes Friday. Here's my guess. I think they get 10 votes in favor. I think that's where we're at.
How many people are on council?
Technically 16, although Trayvon White isn't allowed to vote yet, so I think it's 15.
Is that the one that took the bribe?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So they have enough votes to pass, is what you're saying.
I'm guessing they get 10. Just from what I'm reading tea leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But then they have to do another vote, I think, in September. It's like a 2 rounds thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is probably just the basic plan.
Right.
And then they're going to have to approve the issuance of bonds, which is a whole separate thing.
I think
so
that's
probably
the
what
one
you're
in
talking
September.
about.
Yeah.
Because you can't bonds just don't appear out of nowhere. I mean, so they've got to get the plan done first. That's this.
Right.
And then the bonds.
The fun thing will be to see if I'm right on the 10. I'm excited to see how close I am.
And by the way, I should have said this earlier. I mean, I would assume the ground lease for the stadium is going to be in the name of some quasi-governmental entity owned by DC, probably like the DC Sports and Convention Authority or something like that.
That already exists. Yeah, this DC Sports Entertainment Authority.
I just want to. Okay, there you go. And so the stadium will not be in the name of DC because they're not going to take on that kind of liability.
Right. It's the same entity that already does it for the baseball
Nats
stadium,
right.
and it did it for RFK. Yeah.
Right. So that's who's going to actually be the ground lessee.
Right.
And they might issue the bonds because quasi-government entities can issue bonds. And so the bonds might be in that name, which will help spare the credit rating for the district from going down the toilet. Yeah.
Right. Although apparently they paid off their bonds on the Nats Stadium 14 years early, which is wild.
It was $350 million, and the investor was, I think it was Bank of America, if I recall. You know, these aren't like these type of bonds. You don't just have like thousands of individuals lined up to buy $100 at a time. I mean, you line up institutional investors to do this, and so it was. I looked it up. I believe it was Bank of America did Nats Park.
Right, and so it's not. So I can't get like a savings bond under this one. Unfortunately.
No, probably not. I mean, because again, this is all arranged.
I wanted to own a little bit of the stadium somehow.
Well, you wouldn't have owned a little bit of the stadium. You would have had a little bit of a lien on a stadium, which is different.
But can I still break somebody's legs if they don't pay me?
No, because you probably surrendered your rights to some, administrative manager of the bonds, fund. So no,
it's just not as fun.
What you could do is buy stock in whatever institutional investor is going to be buying the bonds. That's what you could do.
Well, I can't, but I will. You
could buy one share.
It's a different topic.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well,
hey, listen. Longfellow Deeds brought down an entire transaction off of one bond. So.
That sounds like a story that I would love to hear, but we don't have time for it.
Yeah. That would be Mr. Deeds, the movie.
Oh, then no, I'm not that interested in it.
I'm more interested in Happy Gilmore 2 than that, but I still haven't gotten around to Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore 2 coming around? I'm more interested in Spinal Tap 2 than Happy Gilmore.
I mean, I'm way more interested in Spinal Tap 2, yes.
I've never seen Happy Gilmore, so I don't need to see the sequel.
It doesn't hold up. I just rewatched it recently.
I'm afraid the Spinal Tap movie is not going to hold up either, but we'll see.
I have more faith in Christopher Guest than I do in Adam Sandler. So.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, Spinal Tap was a very cult classic, ridiculous movie. It was great, and I don't know. I'm just afraid it's going to be too mainstream.
The hard part is those movies are all improv. All those Christopher Guest, they have an outline of what they want to do, but all the great lines in there are improv for the most part. So you have to still be on it as a comedian.
Listen, I have a Spinal Tap story, but we'll have to save it for next time.
Yeah, we can do that.
Good.
All right, guys, we will talk to you all next week and probably be talking about how we now have a stadium because that'll be exciting.
Spinal Tap.
And Spinal Tap and preseason football.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the first game is next week. So
I believe it's the 4th. We should have said that earlier. Yeah, I believe it's the 4th of August, is it not?
I
Let's look
probably
this
should
up
have
real
looked it
quick.
up. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we
No,
probably
it's
should have looked it
Friday,
up.
August 8th at 7:30 p.m. versus the Patch Riots.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't do game previews of preseason
No.
games.
No, especially game
just
one.
silly.
That no one.
It's
no
a
one's gonna
totally
play in.
pointless effort, right?
Yes, but we'll beat the Pat Riots. I'm sure of it.
Maybe.
So
We'll see.
we'll see. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Later.
Later.
Oh, and as far as the preseason.